Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host Red. Got a video today from Hollywood Body Count. Everybody seems to be enjoying this series.
The 1982 Annie opens with a scrappy red-haired orphan leading a chorus of girls in It's a Hard Knock Life.
It was a good movie. I watched it a lot growing up as a kid because I came here in '92 and this was like on TV all the time. Enjoyable movie, loved it. I thought the kid was like a very smart, snide, quirky kid. And I love the butler guy, the magician Indian butler guy. That was probably one of my favorite characters in the movie.
I love you, Miss Hannigan.
Why any kid would want to be an orphan is beyond me.
With a sequence with dusty beds, gray walls, and Miss Hannigan snarling, creating pure Broadway grit. Now jump to 2014, with Quvenzhané Wallis's Annie dancing through a foster home while snapping selfies as Cameron Diaz delivers a cartoonish drunken Miss Hannigan.
Okay, showtime. You guys act.
I think I saw bits and pieces of this one. I don't remember watching the whole movie, but I don't think it was necessary to like kind of gender swap, or not gender swap, but race swap the characters so much.
Well cared for.
We love you, Miss Hannigan.
Take it down 1,000. Nobody's gonna believe that.
Like a remake of a movie makes sense, just to remake it, but when you remake it purposely for certain things, then it just doesn't work as well.
What was once tough and heartfelt now felt glossy and shallow. The original Daddy Warbucks, played by Albert Finney, was a stiff industrial tycoon softened by Annie's optimism.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about Annie.
You want to return her and forget it, or trade her?
I want to adopt her.
In the remake, Jamie Foxx plays a tech billionaire mayoral candidate named Will Stacks, who's more focused on polls than parenting.
I think that this city deserves someone better than I am. Ha! Gay!
The charm of watching Warbucks melt into a father figure was replaced by campaign slogans and product placements. Even the iconic Tomorrow brutally.
I've noticed that a lot of movies nowadays with the product placements is so much worse. It feels like the Truman Show where they're like acting, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, don't forget about drinking this, and then put it away real quick and then go back to the regular movie.
Really changed the tone with a girl on stage with a spotlight in '82 versus Wallace singing in a studio polished pop track layered with auto-tune.
Where's your essay?
Up here. And it's more of a performance piece.
Here we go.
My president is Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
How stupid.
Instead of timeless Depression-era resilience, audiences got a woke, pointless remake that tanked to $133 million on a $105 million budget. The 1937 Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was Walt Disney's crown jewel with a fair-skinned princess singing "Someday My Prince Will Come."
I mean, it was his first movie, probably one of the biggest box office animated movies ever. Grew up watching this, loved the dwarves. Who doesn't love the dwarves? Tell me now. Who doesn't love Grumpy, Dopey, Doc, all of them? They're just so iconic characters and personalities, and you wanted to get rid of them? What? They made the movie. Like, seriously. It was literally like the dwarves and a side of Snow White character.
As dwarfs like Grumpy and Dopey deliver comic relief, it became the template for fairy tales on screen. Now in 2025, Latina actress Rachel Zegler takes the role as Snow White.
I'm waiting on a wish.
I mean, Snow White was very specific character with a specific look, right? Snow White, white skin so white that they look like snow. That was the whole purpose of her name. Right? That's the whole purpose of the universe building, in a sense, of the story. And then we changed it all. It's not even that anymore.
1,000 treetops.
You can do it!
Cut this freaking head off!
As audiences asked how the name made sense when the original's entire premise was skin white as snow. Instead of leaning into the classic, Zegler dismissed it by saying it's 1937, the prince is basically a stalker, as the mocking tone clashed with nostalgia.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Shut up, bitch. Sex.
Actor Peter Dinklage blasted Disney for hypocrisy by celebrating diversity in casting Snow White while reducing dwarfs to stereotypes. In response, Disney scrapped the 7 dwarfs
I know a lot of people didn't like Dinklage because of this.
altogether by replacing
little
them with
people.
CGI magical creatures.
Yeah, without any personalities. They didn't have the same personalities as all the 7 dwarves originally did. They each had their own personality. Now it was just CGI weird people. I didn't watch the movie, but
What did you think I was?
Pussy.
Fans felt wronged as they went from Hi Ho sung by miners who need pickaxes
it's a good song.
to an
And to me, like, that song is just like, this is men. What do? We go to work. What do? We just go to work. Why do we work? Because that's what we do.
recognizable band of CGI companions. Disney canceled major press tours to contain the controversy, as weak tracking and ballooning costs made it less a fairy tale and more a poisoned apple. In 1950, Disney's animated Cinderella set the template, a blonde maiden in a sparkling gown rescued by a white prince as
This is when I was a kid. Like, this is like the 90s.
mice stitched her dress.
Well, why not?
The world was simple, romantic, and deeply traditional. Flash forward to 1997, ABC's live-action musical cast Brandy as the first Black Cinderella, Whitney Houston as the fairy godmother, and Whoopi Goldberg as the queen.
Impossible. Impossible.
It doesn't sound that bad when you look at that part of things. Like, okay, so you race swap some characters. Go on.
Impossible.
This is the worst.
Filipino actor Paolo Montalban was the prince.
And then
as
this
suddenly
happened.
a
This
royal-
is like, wait. You're black. You're white. And then how did you get a Filipino son? How did that work out? And then it's great that, you know, Asians are being represented in movies and all, and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think this one was necessary for us to be represented in. I don't think we cared.
Her family looked like a racial casting inclusivity checklist.
Everyone's staring at us.
Yeah, because you Asian and black.
I'd forgotten there was anyone else here.
Shut up!
We went from a golden-haired Cinderella singing "A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart
That was the
Makes" in a
perfect
quiet
one.
attic to Brandy belting Rodgers and Hammerstein ballads in a palace of rainbow casting.
I wanted to ring out the bells and fling out my arms and to sing out the news.
Cake? Honestly, where does it end with you people?
I don't think this was that bad overall, because I remember, because this came out when I was a kid, like in high school or so. Everybody liked it. It was very enjoyable for a lot of people. Did we realize this is what they were trying to do? Somewhat. I think this is when we kind of started seeing, it's like, oh, I remember these characters being white. now they're getting race swapped. This was like the first era of that.
While some critics applauded the boldness, others mocked it as unbelievable with "How does Whoopi Goldberg have an Asian son?" becoming a running joke. Reviews
True.
called Houston's glittery godmother a caricature
Impossible.
and Brandy's acting flat. Yet the broadcast pulled nearly 60 million viewers, but critics sniffed it was for the moment, not the ages. Still today, it's re-evaluated as groundbreaking representation. The 1989 Little Mermaid is Disney Renaissance magic. Ariel, pale-skinned with flowing red hair, sings a part of your world.
Wish I could be part of that world.
As Sebastian warns her to stay under the sea as every frame is hand-drawn wonder. In 2023, Ariel resurfaced as Hailey Bailey, a black actress with braided red locks.
Wish I could be part of that world.
I'm gonna come.
The backlash exploded the moment the trailer
It's a nice
dropped,
voice.
as #NotMyAriel trended and the YouTube teaser was massively disliked. What once enchanted children now triggered a culture war, as audiences went from bubbly animated Ariel fluidly swimming with her.
It is interesting that we turn movies into culture wars. Can it just be entertainment? Can we just watch for enjoyment purposes, not for pushing whatever agenda there is?
treasures.
Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the...
To Bailey filmed in dim CGI-heavy waters, with critics saying the undersea world looked lifeless.
Up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be.
The original's Prince Eric duet with colorful and bright cartoon romance
I'm sorry if this knucklehead scared you. He's harmless, really.
was swapped for a muted live-action number, while praised for Bailey's vocals but criticized for dreary visuals.
I mean, when everything is so dark, it feels like that Game of Thrones dragon fight. It's just like, wait, we were watching two dragons fight this whole time? I just thought it was a blurry mess.
Keep singing!
Gay.
Bailey admitted she expected
knew it was
racist attacks. Director Rob Marshall insisted she won purely on talent, while Jodie Benson, Ariel's original voice, defended her successor. Little Mermaid barely broke even with $569 million against a...
I do admit now it's a little bit different just because they're making movies with actresses that have the voice already. You know, they can sing and can act instead of back in the day where you had two different actresses, a voice actress for the acting part and then a voice actress for the singing part.
A $250 million budget plus marketing, as the inclusive reboot lacked classic glory. The 1984 Ghostbusters opens with Bill Murray,
This one, why? Why did you guys make women for this? Like, when you think of ghosts and scary things, do you think of women rushing in to blast things to smithereens? Or do you think of dumb, goofy men that don't know anything that are scared of their life? Are scared out of their lives, but are just like willing to fight anything because we're men. Like I feel like Ghostbusters is a very male-centric thing.
Aykroyd and Harold Ramis chasing a ghost through New York City Public Library.
Egon, your mucus.
With wisecracks, proton packs, and the iconic theme song.
Who you gonna call?
That turned it into a comedy legend. Cut to 2016, with director Paul Feig reimagining the team as an all-female progressive mission with the likes of Melissa McCarthy.
Let's go. Let's go. Oh.
I'm gay.
Instead of Who You Gonna Call Excitement, the trailer became one of YouTube's most disliked videos ever, as fans were split in outrage. We went from Murray deadpanning, "He slimed me,"
Batman, what happened? Are you okay?
He slimed me.
That's great! Actual physical contact!
in a slime-soaked hallway, to Kate McKinnon licking her proton gun in the neon fight sequence.
Forgot about my new toys. Let's go.
It's a woke, but we are in a new time.
As the sarcastic versus slapstick comedy turned the woke successor into a...
Whoa. This is the thing, right? I don't think slapstick comedy is a thing anymore. I don't think it's hard for it to come back because that comedy style, I think, is gone. I don't think modern people, younger people enjoy that style of comedy anymore, especially because like the Naked Gun, the new Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson. I thought it was funny. I was laughing my ass out throughout the whole movie, but I also went into that movie thinking all I'm gonna do is be watching and like pretty much seeing funny memes throughout the whole movie and laughing my ass off. That was the whole goal of the movie. And that's what the movie did. I don't think people care to watch movies like that anymore with the whole goofy falling down and everybody kind of laughing kind of thing.
With disaster online, the backlash turned vicious, with Leslie Jones enduring racist trolling.
She's in a personal hell and hurt after being targeted by hateful trolls on Twitter. The tweets are so offensive, we can't repeat them.
And Feig firing back at misogynistic fanboys as the media framed the ensuing culture war narrative as woke Ghostbusters versus Gamergate. While the '84 original grossed nearly $300 million against a $30 million budget, the 2016
$270 million profit in those early days. They were making money.
Reboot scraped $229 million worldwide against a combined $240 million in costs. In 1939, The Wizard of Oz gave us Judy Garland as Dorothy, clicking ruby
Wait, they remade The Wizard of Oz?
slippers and singing Over the Rainbow.
I didn't know this one.
A Kansas farm girl swept into Technicolor fantasy. It was the whitest of Hollywood fairy tales, both literally and figuratively. By 2015, NBC revived The Wiz, the 1970s Broadway hit that reimagined Oz with an all-black cast.
There, what is that? There.
That there.
Yes, that, there. What is that, there?
Oh, that there.
No need to shout.
Shanice Williams took Dorothy's shoes while belting home with Whitney-level vocals.
When I think of home, I think of a place.
We have a problem!
And the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Cowardly Lion weren't Midwestern caricatures, but soul, R&B, and gospel archetypes.
Interesting. Doesn't seem like a bad thing. Just the way they were making each of the characters kind of representing each. No hate on it.
You can win.
We went from Garland's sepia-toned Kansas to Williams strutting into Oz on a neon-lit yellow brick road.
He's on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be alone.
Losers.
From Somewhere Over the Rainbow sang softly on a farm to Queen Latifah, booming as a gender-swapped whiz in emerald green armor.
Let me tell you that you come to the right place. Shall I make you a frog or lizard?
Gay.
The Twitter backlash was inevitable, with accusations of reverse racism and double standards.
Is that what reverse racism is? When you just change everything to not white people?
Trolls complained the original Oz was all white, so why wasn't this one inclusive? But audiences told a different story, as 11.5 million tuned in, topping NBC's earlier Peter Pan Live, as it was hailed as fresh, joyous, and unapologetically black. The 1961 West Side Story brought Broadway's Romeo and Juliet to the screen. Natalie Woods as Maria, Richard Baymer.
I don't hate the story, because I actually went to go watch a brothel, like a brothel play of West Side Story. It was quite interesting.
As Tony, and gang snapping fingers across New York. It won 10 Oscars and became the definitive movie musical. 60 years later, Steven Spielberg revisited it by casting Rachel Zegler as Maria.
Buying on credit is so nice.
One look at us and they charge twice.
They're losers. They're just losers.
With Spielberg mandating all Puerto Rican roles be played by Latinx actors. Where the 61 film had brown face, the 2021 version insisted on authenticity.
I'm sure they weren't happy about the whole brown face thing, but it is what it is back in those days.
But the choice to leave Spanish dialogue unsubtitled sparked debate as audiences called it a woke gimmick. We went from Natalie Wood whispering, "I feel pretty."
I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
I did not know this song came from this movie.
I feel pretty and witty and gay.
In clear English to Zegler in Spanish, leaving some viewers lost. From Russ Tamblyn leading the Jets in Cool, with 60s Broadway energy, to Mike Faist's grittier riff set against Spielberg's hyper-realistic sets. The remake also included a trans interpretation of Rough Anybody's, hailed by some as progressive, but branded anachronistic by skeptics.
To join this gang of brothers, not only to be accepted into a family and seen as a unit, but be accepted for who they are as a person and accepted in their own skin.
We do not care.
$76 million worldwide against $100 million in costs allowed detractors to mock the sunk project as Spielberg's woke disaster. On TV, Batman adaptation had always leaned on tradition, with Adam West's campy Batman in the 60s.
Adam West was the best. Probably one of the best gay men that played Batman ever.
Michael Keaton's brooding Dark Knight in the 80s, and even Christian Bale's gritty reinvention in the 2000s.
I think most people like the Christian Bale ones, the 2000 ones. Series. It's a good set.
Stay
good
calm.
trilogy.
You've been poisoned.
The hero was always a man under the cowl. In 2019, CW flipped the script as Ruby Rose was cast as Kate Kane, an openly lesbian Batwoman.
Kane.
Huh?
Kate Kane.
Like, anything with this Emily Rose person, it just almost always ends up being crappy. Remember her in what was it? The one with John Wick, the John Wick movie, the third one or something like that. She was like some super silent assassin that was like able to keep up with John Wick. Like, what?
She's cool.
I said, listen.
Instead of excitement, backlash hit immediately, with fans complaining Rose wasn't gay enough or Jewish enough for the role. The trailer.
See, this one you would think it'd be okay because there's an actual Batwoman. They didn't really, take a Batman and then replace him. No, Batwoman is a character in the Batman universe. So you would think it'd be cool because they didn't really take away from anybody else, but they just did a horrible job with it because trying to, social justice warrior everything all the time.
Killer's line, "It'll be perfect when it fits a woman."
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits a woman.
I'll bust their jaw with the bottom of my hand.
Was clipped, memed, and slammed as SJW propaganda as YouTube dislikes piled up. We went from Bale's Batman growling, "I am Batman,"
I'm Batman.
in The Dark Knight to Rose strapping on the suit and declaring, "I'm not about to let a man take credit for a woman's work."
I'm not about to let a man take credit for a woman's work.
I think they could tell you're a Batwoman.
As different eras had different ideologies. After one season, Rose quit, with Javicia Leslie replacing her as Ryan Wilder, a black bisexual woman. The backlash doubled, with
I would imagine
racist
so.
trolling as the ratings collapsed from the premiere's 1.8 million to under 500,000. Time's up. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video from my fun, lighthearted channel.
And shout outs to Hollywood Body Count for bringing us great videos. And I used to be such a big movie buff. I watched so many movies constantly. Used to go to movies almost every weekend. For the last 10 years or so, movies died. Movies really died. Even with the Marvel franchise and like the Ultron and all that stuff, I still felt movies have gone downhill since the early 2000s. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll get you guys next time. Ciao.